Welcome back to the BMC Panther Talk podcast. I'm here with
Nathan,
Brendan,
Ashlyn,
and we're going to be discussing for the last episode what some of our favorite episodes to create were and our favorite moments of this podcast and some editing software that we went through this semester. Nathan, what was your favorite podcast?
my favorite podcast personally was the childhood video games because, I don't know, but nostalgia is really the best medicine for me. And
Right.
being able to talk about that.
What was your favorite podcast?
I liked the Thanksgiving one a lot just because it was just something to ramble about, and the holiday ones are just overall just good.
What was your favorite, Ashlyn?
mine was the playground interviews because I liked the whole interview part of it, and it was just a good topic to do at the time.
Some software we went through this year was we went through an absurd amount to try to get these podcasts to come out the way they did. One of the ones we used was CapCut, which was used for one or two of the first episodes, and afterwards our storage corrupted. Nathan, what was an editing source that you remembered using that gave us a lot of trouble?
I remember using, was it BandLab? I'm pretty sure
Yeah, I
it
think it was
was BandLab that
BandLab.
we used. We went to BandLab after CapCut, and it also had the same problem.
Brendan, what do we want to talk about? Anchor, or should we just leave that to rest? Because
I mean,
it's a
Anchor
big topic.
Anchor
wasn't as bad. It's
Wasn't as
super
bad,
confusing
right?
to figure out.
Yeah.
I figured it out almost immediately.
I didn't. I think some of us just, and then we found WeVideo, which is
we
the best
videos
one
we use now.
Yeah. It's awesome.
And hopefully the next podcast group also uses WeVideo, so we still have that sound of the original podcast that came from us, and hopefully will come from them. I hope that the new podcast group is going to be similar podcasts, maybe not the same topics, but same kind of stuff that they cover. Because if they go too off topic, it's gonna be a bittersweet taste.
Yeah.
Because the legacy of this podcast will not be forgotten for sure.
Mm-mm.
Because the next group's going to be a lot bigger. And hopefully it sounds like a normal podcast. If we have any routine listeners that listen to the podcast, they still get that originality feel of this podcast, just different people.
Yep.
What about SoundCloud?
Oh,
We didn't use
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud, did we?
yeah, we
we
did.
tried
I think
it.
we tried it
We
once.
tried, and it didn't work.
And just the amount of weeks we had to wait just for.
We had to wait a good month before we
Yeah.
were getting the swing of things.
But,
we
I mean-
walked so the next podcasting group could run.
We managed
basically.
to get 20 episodes out
Yeah,
the
that
entire
was-
semester
Oh yeah.
within only a few months of only being
I'd say
in
it's a big
podcasting.
accomplishment from us.
Yes, it was a big
20
accomplishment.
episodes is a lot.
Especially with the lack of people we had. We only had 4 people.
Yeah, we only have
started
4
with
people.
5.
We started
but
with 5, but one of them
one of
got
them
homeschooled.
got homeschooled. Yeah, but 4 people making 20 episodes just goes to show that if the next group doesn't make 20 episodes, then I don't know who will. They better be putting out 20 episodes, at least, because I'm gonna be listening to them. I'm gonna listen to the podcast. I'm not gonna lie.
Would you guys take another podcasting class if it was offered?
Yeah,
Yeah.
If it was in my schedule.
I
If it
would.
fits the schedule, I would.
I would, but I would probably want to work with the same 4 people.
Yeah.
Because working with other people, it might just get a little too out of hand.
Messy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ashlyn, would you work with the same people from this podcasting group if you could fit it into your schedule next year?
I would, as long as it fit in my schedule.
Yeah.
I would too, but I'm not sure what my schedule is going to look like next year, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Who knows? I mean,
Yeah, who knows?
Podcasting
It could be a
was-
sudden strange revival of BMC Panther Talk out of nowhere.
There could
Yeah.
be, and there could also not be. It
if
all
one of us has
depends.
podcasting next year, you gotta change the name back to BMC Panther Talk.
Yeah,
You just have to.
this is the death and new awakening of this podcasting channel, basically. This is these 4 people stopping this podcast to hand it over to the next however many people there are. There's a lot more than 4 people in the next group.
Pretty sure it was 12, right?
Something like that. I feel like this is a good spot to end it off for this podcast. And I'd say that this was really fun making these podcasts.
I think we all can agree with that.
Yeah, these podcasting were a good experience for me. And I'm sure everyone else also had a good experience with these. It helped with just talking to people in general when interviewing and stuff. It made me a lot less socially anxious, I guess. And I guess this is the ending of BMC Panther Talk for now.
Yep.